Okay. Why am I great? Definitely you may wonder, because we are getting back to normal life here. So now everywhere is slowly opening one by one. Today they open the gyms and the sports centers and tennis courts. So immediately the whole family, we went to the gym, you know. We swam and played tennis, badminton, and we spent around 6 hours there. Just came back. And that's why somehow I'm happy, and they're opening the schools and universities. So we will actually do physical teaching. Leila, welcome. Okay. Musa, is it coming from you?
Yes,
Okay.
my mouse didn't work.
All right. So, guys, if everything is okay, let's start. Before we start, if you have any questions, you may ask now. Otherwise, I'm going to cover this chapter and one more chapter. And after that, we will do some revision. Musa, if possible, you need to increase speed a little bit. Okay, try to solve more questions now, because now you are not like the same as you started at the beginning, right? So now you know my method, you know the technique, you know what to do. So as you practice more and more questions, somehow you will actually enjoy it. Okay. And
Yes, I'm good.
of course, we should not solve very simple that's questions. You just look at the question, you know how to solve this. No, not this kind of questions. Okay. Some kind of different non-standard questions. Okay, Daphne, Leila, Musa, one more time. Here, chapter 5 is the simultaneous linear equations. Chapter 6 is about Pythagorean theorem. Okay, let's finish this quickly. And after that, again, we will do some revision. And from now on, maybe not now on, let's say starting from next week, okay, I will start giving you some SASMO papers. So you have to practice. If you like it, practice. And you will see the SASMO questions are really, really nice questions. You know, when you look at the question, idea does not come. You have to think a little bit. That really improves your critical thinking.
Teacher, that's
Yes.
great because I was like gonna ask you this lesson to like give me some papers that like so that I could understand the whole method or like how they are. So I'm gonna ask, are they like open questions or do they have multiple choices?
Okay. Both, Daphne, both.
Okay, as I expected.
Usually, Daphne also asks more questions, and I don't know if you have ever seen the Singaporean system, because SASMO is based in Singapore. Singapore questions, how do they ask? For example, questions, a lot of questions actually, they don't ask one type of questions. Let's say they are going to ask 30 questions, okay? And usually in most exams, they have two sections. It's like paper one, paper two, okay? Paper one, you are allowed to use a calculator. Paper two, you are not allowed to use a calculator. Accordingly, let's just organize this. And how about SASMO? SASMO is also the first section. It is usually multiple choice questions, okay? Maybe like 10 questions. Let's say for each question, you gain, let me, 1 or 2 points. And after that, another section, and this short answer required questions. You have to solve and just write your answer, okay? Actually, you're not required to solve the long solution. And third section, actually not, you'll just say that these questions are organized in this order. The third section, and you cannot solve those questions in 1 or 2 or 3 steps, okay? That means that you need to show a lot of work, okay? That is the third section. Maybe for one question, it's about 5 or 10 points, okay? Definitely, it's not a big deal, okay? If you want, even today, I can send you, starting maybe from today
Yes,
or
I would like
tomorrow,
that.
we should start solving questions. But definitely first, I'm going to give you grade 7 questions. Okay, first practice grade 7 questions. And if you say that it's everything is very good and easy, and after that I will give you grade 8 questions, because these are
Teacher,
Olympiad questions. Even grade 6 and 7 questions, you will see that they are not that easy questions. Yes.
teacher, especially in math, I would always like solve questions that's like higher, one grade higher, two grade higher than like my own grade. Cause not because of like that they're easy, but that I have information that like it requires. So they become a little bit too easy. So I get like practically really bored after I do like one type of question over and over 10 times.
Okay,
So
actually,
I would always like, I have right now like a few hundred textbooks, just like only textbooks. And I would solve like 10 questions from them and I would get bored. So
okay, I understand definitely, but first have a look at SASMO questions, but they are not that kind of questions. They're really, really interesting questions. I don't know. I don't, because I like math, or I don't know. I have been dealing with this kind of Olympiad and question for, I don't know, many, many years, more than 15 years. I always loved this kind of questions. Let me just give one example about SASMO type questions. You know, in a clock, we have hour hand and minute hand, right? Okay, one question is in SASMO, for example, how many times in a day do this hour hand and minute hand overlap each other? For example, this kind of question. Now look at the question using any equation or something. You cannot solve this problem. All right. This is non-standard question. You have to think differently. Okay, this kind of questions. Definitely no problem. Let's continue our class. Okay. Uh, After that, starting from today, because
teacher, is the answer to
if you
that
don't,
question 24?
huh?
Is the answer to that question 24?
I don't know. We have to solve it. I don't know. I just remember one question and telling you we can solve this. Okay. All right. Definitely, I will share you. Okay. Today, let's finish this chapter 5 and
Okay.
6. And after the 2 weeks, we will solve this kind of question, the SASMO type questions. Okay. Let's just be a little patient. Let me finish this chapter 5 and 6. Because every 3 chapter, we should do revision. We almost finished chapter 6. And starting from Wednesday. Today, I will send you one paper, have a look. And starting from Wednesday or next week, we will do 2 week revision. Okay, guys, we're talking about simultaneous linear equations. We actually stop here. Okay. Uh, so if one is added to the numerator and to the denominator, let me just check. Are we recording? Yes. These questions are simple. After all, also we need to practice your English. If one is added to the numerator and two to the denominator of a fraction. So immediately from here in the question, it says a fraction, right? Here we have indefinite article, a fraction. So what fraction we are talking about? We don't know. And so we have to start our problem with that fraction. Let's say our fraction is a over b, okay? And the first one, it says that if we add 1 to the numerator and 2 to the denominator. So in the second step, I'm adding 1 to the numerator and 2 to the denominator. It says that its value will be 2 over 3. So the value of this fraction will be 2 over 3. And number two, second part, if 2 is subtracted from the numerator and 1 from the denominator. Third condition is if 2 is subtracted from the numerator, that is a minus 2 over and 1 from the denominator, that is b minus 1, its value will be 1 over 3. So its value will be 1 over 3. The question is, what is this fraction? We are looking for this fraction. Again, when we're solving these kind of problems, guys, you should not think that, okay, if I solve, what will happen? What we are doing here is we are doing some kind of mental exercise to sharpen our thinking skill, so that when we have a real life problem, we can actually look at the problem from different angles. We know how to think. We know how to connect things with each other. Anyway, at least that's how I understand learning math or teaching math. So from the first one, now we have two equations, two variables, right? If you just cross multiply, what we have here, the first equation becomes 3 times a plus 3. On the right hand side, 2 times b plus 2. Here we have 2b plus 4. And here we have 3 times a. It is 3a minus 6. So here we have b minus 1. Okay. And reorganize this and write them in standard form. What is the standard form? That is ax plus by is equal to c. So the first equation becomes 3a. Take 2b to the left hand side minus 2b. On the right hand side, 4 minus 3, that's equal to 1. And how about the second equation? Here we have 3a minus b. On the right hand side, negative 1 plus 6, that's equal to 5. And as you see here, what method should we use here? Already, as you see here, the coefficients of A are equal. I just start use elimination method. Let's just eliminate the variable A from these equations. If you subtract the second equation from the first one, 3A minus 3A, that's equal to 0, minus 2B minus B, that's equal to minus B. On the right hand side, 1 minus 5, that's equal to minus 4. So what is B? B equals 4. Okay. So now if I substitute here into the second equation, let's say it's step number 4, substitute into the second equation. So here we have 3a minus 6 is equal to, what is b? It is 4. It is 4 minus 1. So if you just solve this for a, here we have 3 plus 6, that's equal to 9. So a equals 3. So dot, 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 our original fraction is, what is it? A over b, that is 3 over 4. Okay. Of course, in different way you can solve this. That's just one way to solve this equation using simultaneous equations. Musa, is it clear? Hello,
Yes,
Musa. Good,
it is
good.
well. I think it's most easier Sam in like in the math in the yes in the math it is most easier Sam.
Okay, but now here, did you understand everything, Musa?
Yes, but I didn't understand why you didn't like um, how to say like um in third third step you didn't like um, um let me think please
In third step, what happened?
like um, take like take away 3a like minus the 2
So here is in actually, did you understand how we form the equation?
yes
Because it says that if 2 is subtracted from the numerator, right? Numerator is a minus 2, and 1 from the denominator. So it is b minus 1. On the right hand side, we have 1 over 3, so 1 over 3. And after that, I just cross multiply. 3 times a minus 2, so that is 3a minus 6, right? And 1 times b minus 1, that is b minus 1. And after that, I take b to the left-hand side and negative 6 to the right-hand side. And 3a minus b, so here we have 3a minus b. And negative 1 plus 6, here we have 5. And after that, we just solve these equations.
okay
Another example, we have 2 more examples, I think, here. Okay. So the sum of the age of Carl and his son is 60 years. Again, guys, as I told you, we are just here working or learning methods, not only solving the problem. Because sometimes solving one question, different methods. Okay, if you know more methods, that means that you have more tools to deal with questions. So the sum of the age of Carl and his son is 60 years old. And let's say his Carl and his son, okay? If Carl's age is X, son's age is Y, so that's equal to 60 years old. 2 years ago, Carl was 3 times as old as his son. 2 years ago, Carl was x minus 2 years old, right? And how about his son? His son was y minus 2 years old. And it says that 2 years ago, Carol was three times as old as his son. How old is Carol's son? How old was Carol when his son was born? We have two questions. To answer these questions, we need to solve this system, okay? Two things. What is given here? The sum of their present age. And if we just suppose that Carol's age is x years old and son is y years old, right? X plus y equals 60. And the second part, in the second condition, it says that 2 years ago. 2 years ago, Carl was x minus 2 years old, and his son was y minus 2 years old. And how their ages were related to each other 2 years ago. That's how is it given, right? X minus 2 equals 3 times y minus 2. Anyway, now again, we form, what is it? Simultaneous linear equations. Now from here, again, let me just write them in standard form. X plus y is equal to 6. And here we have x minus 2. On the right-hand side, 3y minus 6. 3 times negative 2 is 6, right? And here we have x plus y is equal to 6. And the second equation, x takes 3y to the left-hand side minus 3y. On the right-hand side, we have negative 6. Take negative 2 to the right. It is negative 6 plus 2. That's equal to negative 4. So already coefficients of x are the same. So we will eliminate x from the equation. If you subtract the second equation from the first one, x minus x 0, y minus minus 3y, that's equal to 4y. And 60 minus minus 4, it is 64. From here, y is equal to 16. If y is equal to 16, the sum is 60, right? So x should be equal to 44. So it says that how old is Carl's son? The first answer to the question is son is 16 years old. And how old was Carl when his son was born? Number two is, what is it? 44 minus 16 years ago, right? It is 20. So Carl was 28 years old when his son was born. Okay. All right. One more question, and we will do some revision and finish this chapter. Daphne, can you read the question and solve this question for us?
Okay. The sum of the digits of a two-digit number is 8. When the number with the same digits reversed is subtracted from the number, the difference is 18. What is the number?
Okay. Did you understand the question, Daphne, or you want to read it again?
No. I'm going to read it again.
Okay, read it and try to understand. We give you 4 minutes, and suppose that you are a teacher here. How would you explain this to us? Timer, you have 4 minutes. And Daphne, Leila, and Musa also can try this. Okay, guys, have a
What
look.
means digits?
Digits?
Digit means numbers, like numbers itself in the
Digits like means number.
like 18 digits are 1 and 8. Got
Actually,
it?
Musa, that's 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9. These are called digits. We use digits to form a number, right? If you
Okay,
want to
thank
write
you.
21, what digits do I need? Digit 2 and digit 1, right? So they're using digits, we form a number. Guys, if you understand, this is a little bit challenging question, okay? 4 minutes. Let me just restart this, okay? And try to do this. If you cannot do anything, then we will discuss this together. That is, I think, the most difficult question in this because it's a pure math question. Okay, let me just drink water and come back in 1 minute. Daphne, are you ready?
No.
Are you trying or still are you trying to understand the question?
Sure, I didn't understand when it says like digits reversed. Like, do they change places? Like, so like 18
Yeah.
becomes 81?
Yes, like for example, I said 21. If you reverse the digits, I will get 12, right? And what is the difference here? The difference is 9. If you reverse, we are talking about this AB, two-digit number. If you just reverse the digits, you'll have BA. So that's the difference.
Okay.
Leila, how about you? Are you trying or? Okay, Daphne, if you allow me, let's do this together, okay? And the sum of the digits of a two-digit number. Here, what you have to know here is, for example, we know that if I have 37, I can write it as 3 times 10 plus 7, right? And if you have, like, for example, 275, I can write it as 2 times 100 plus 7 times 10 plus 5, right? Like this. How about if our number is AB, I can write it as 10 times A, right? Because in tens digit we have A, units digit we have B, and that's equal to B. Actually, just we need to know this thing to answer this, solve this question. Here, suppose that we are given a two-digit number. That's our two-digit number. In the first condition, it says that the sum of the digits of this two-digit number is 8. So that means that A plus B is equal to 8, right? The digits are A and B, so the sum of the digits is equal to 8. When the number with the same digits reversed is subtracted from the number, the difference is 18. So that is AB, right? We are forming a new number by reversing the digits of this number, that is BA, that is equal to 18. So now we have to solve this system. If you solve this again using this, what is AB is 10A plus B. So here we have A plus B is equal to 8. So what is AB? That is 10A plus B, right? Minus, how about BA? It is 10B minus A. On the right-hand side, we have 18. Now, if you simplify this again, the first our equation is 8. Second one is 10A minus 10A. It should be plus, right? It is plus. 10A minus A, it is 9A. B minus 10B, it is minus 9B. On the right-hand side, we have 18, right? Just we need to solve this system. Or if I simplify this further, A plus B equals 8. The second equation, divide by 9. Here we have A minus B is equal to 2. And if you just add them together and divide, so 8 plus 2 is 10, 10 over 2, that's equal to 5. If A equals 5 from the second equation or from the first equation, B is equal to 3. Dot, dot, dot. What is our number? That's AB, that's equal to 53. As I see here, 5 plus 3 is equal to 8. 53 minus 35 is equal to 18. Okay?
Okay.
Good. Oh, double think means the power of holding two contradictory beliefs in one's mind simultaneously and accepting both of them. Double think. Interesting quotes. Double think means the power of holding two contradictory beliefs in one's mind simultaneously and accepting both of them. All right. Okay, guys, let's do a few review questions. Okay. Today, I want to finish this chapter because it's not so hard, but we had to review this. All right. Okay. Musa, Defna, Leila, can we practice a few questions with you? At least 5 questions, okay? For each
Okay.
question, you are given only 3 minutes. Okay. Here, not only your knowledge, also speed. Can you solve fast? What you have to do is solve it and just tell me the answer. Okay. And we will see. If everything's okay, we will continue. If not okay, I mean, if you have different answers, we will solve them quickly together. All right. Just 5 questions. And after that, we will see. Okay,
What?
Leila, if you are ready, you have only 3 minutes for each question. Let's start with this question. Okay. If you are ready, let's start. After 3 minutes, okay, we will do them, discuss them together.
What's mean in 6 years time? Like after 6 year,
Yes,
after
after
six
six
years,
years.
or what?
Yes, 6 years
Okay,
time is
thank
after
you.
6 years. Twenty seconds. Okay, time. Leila, let's start with you. Did you get any answer?
No,
Why not?
I didn't understand.
Are you trying or still you didn't understand?
What?
Daphne, how about you?
Teacher, I'm doing. There's so less stuff late made. Like I made like the equations, both of the equations, and right now I'm solving them.
Musa, did you get any answer?
I don't know. I got that the five the ratio 5 and 7 is like the Leila is 10 and the Peter is 14, but I how to say didn't match in time.
Okay. All right. Daphne, just keep doing at the same time. You can keep on the screen because already 4 minutes. What you have to do here is we are talking about two people, right? And two different times. So we are talking about Jane and Peter, right? So we are talking about three different times. The first one, it says that now, right? The ratio of Jane's age to Peter's age is 5 to 7. So now immediately you should be able to write like this. That means that Jane's age, if Jane's age is 5x, then Peter's age must be 7x, right? The ratio means this. In 6 years' time, that means 5x plus 6 and 7x plus 6, right? In 6 years time, the ratio of their age will become 4 to 5. So now first one is 5x plus 6 to 7x plus 6, that's equal to 45. Now from here, as you see, we can find the value of x, right? We can find the present age. If you cross multiply 5 times 5, it is 25x. 5 times 6, that's equal to 30. On the right hand side, 4 times 7, 28x. 4 times 6, 24. Take 25x to the right hand side, 28 minus 25, that's equal to 3x. Take 24 to the left hand side, 30 minus 24, that's equal to 6. From here, x equals 2. Now we know the value of x.
I have
So
the same answer. I
that
have the
means that,
same answer.
huh?
I have the same answer, but the
Good.
different way.
Good. If it is 2, that means that Jane now, how old is she? She's 10 years old. How about Peter? It is 14 years old. What is the question? What will the ratio of their age be in 30 years time? In 30 years time, it is 5x plus 30, that's step number 2, over 7x plus 30, right? What is x? It is equal to 2. So here we have 5 times 2 plus 30 over, here we have 7 times 2 plus 30, which is equal to 40 over 44. Or if you just simplify this, it is by 4, it is 10 over 11. Dot, dot, dot. The answer is 10 to 11. The ratio of their age in 30 years' time will be 10 to 11. Okay?
Okay.
Daphne, is everything okay?
Yes, teacher, I also found it.
Good. Guys, if you are ready, I'm going to ask next question. Again, you have 3 minutes and let's say maximum 4 minutes. You should just tell me the answer, okay? Because now I'm not going to ask you a method, otherwise, because you can use any method to solve these questions. Okay, if you are ready, start. 4 minutes. Leila, any answer?
No,
Why not? Are you trying or?
I'm trying. I don't know.
Daphne, how about you?
Teacher, give me a few more minutes and I'll think I find out.
Okay, you have 1 more minute. It's time.
Mm, I
Yes, Musa, what did you get?
I don't get answer yet, but I think if I solve it, it will be a right answer.
How come, yeah, Musa, you are given 4 minutes, so you couldn't solve this question. Daphne, how about you?
Teacher, I couldn't also solve it.
Okay, guys,
It's
let me
really
just show
hard.
you one method, okay? Here, we know that 4 over x, I can write it as 4 times 1 over x, right? And also, like, for example, 15 over y, we can write it as 15 times 1 over y. I will introduce new variable. Let's say a equals 1 over x and b is equal to 1 over y. And write our equation. That's 4 over x. It becomes, here we have 4a. And 15 over y, here we have 15 times b. On the right hand side, we have 15. How about the second equation? Here we have 7 over 5a minus 6 times b. On the right hand side, we have 3. Now just we need to solve these simultaneous equations. So multiply the first equation by 2 because I'm going to actually have the same coefficients for b and in the first equation, b in the second equation. Multiply the first equation by 2. So here we have 8a plus 30b is equal to 30. The second equation multiplied by 5. Here we have 7a minus 30b is equal to 15, right? If you just add them together, here we have 15a that's equal to 45. What is a? A equals 3. If a equals 3, okay, and substitute into the first equation, 4 times 3 plus 15b is equal to 15. From here, what is 15b? 15 minus 12, that is equal to 3 over 15, that's equal to 1 over 5. So from here, what is a? A equals 1 over x, that's equal to 3. So x equals 1 over 3, the value of x. How about here? B is equal to 1 over y. From here, y is equal to 5. So dot, 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 the value of x is equal to 1 over 3, and y is equal to 5. That is one way. Also, in another way, I can solve this without introducing any new variables. Okay, that is one way to solve these equations. Musa, is it clear?
Yes.
Yeah, actually, labeling is, in math, it's very, very important. A lot of complicated problems, if you do not introduce new variables, I mean, you can solve it, but it will be very complicated. And that's why just here again, the technique, you should understand the technique. If the variables are not good, so how about you should think that, how about if I introduce some new variables? Can I just reduce our equation into simpler form? And after that, try this. Okay. All
Okay.
right. Review questions 4, and after that, these are a little bit, what is that? Standard questions. And let me just have a look. And how many questions we have? Well, 16. Okay, no problem. Just select a question from review questions 4. 2 apples and 4 oranges cost 3.40, while 7 apples and 6 oranges cost 4.90. Find the cost of an apple and an orange. Guys, I think you know how to solve this. Let me just write the equation and skip this, okay? If you suppose that 1 apple costs X dollars, let's say, and 1 orange costs Y dollars, then the first part of the condition says that 5X plus 4Y is equal to 3.4, right? And while it says that 7 apples and 6 oranges, that is 7X plus 6 oranges costs 4.90. Now, this is the system of equations, right? So if we just solve this, we will get the solution of this system. We know how to solve this. Multiply the first one by 3, multiply the second one by 2, and do this. Again, as you see here, guys, just knowing is not enough, definitely. Also, we have to practice so that you can solve the questions fast. Otherwise, you know that you can solve this, but you need more time. Let's say 15 minutes. We don't have that much time. I mean, not we don't have that much time, but sometimes we have to think really fast because sometimes even 1 second is important. That's why we have to think fast. That's why we have to practice more and more questions. Another question, I think of a pair of numbers. Okay, simply, I think of a pair of numbers. That means that let's say the first one is, let's say those numbers are A and B because we are talking about 2 numbers, right? If I add 11 to the first, I obtain a number which is twice the second. It says that if I add 11 to the first number and I obtain a number which is twice the second, so that is twice the second number. If I add 20 to the second, if I add 20 to the second number, our second number is B, I obtain a number which is twice the first. I obtain a number which is twice the first. The first number is A. What are the numbers? As you see here, understanding the problem is the main challenge. If you understand, the rest is easy. So let's just write them in standard form. The first one is A minus 2B is equal to negative 11. How about the second one? A, not A, 2A minus B is equal to 20, right? Just take B to the right-hand side. Now, let's just eliminate or use the substitution method. From the first equation, what is A? A equals 2B minus 11, right? Take negative 2B to the right-hand side. And substitute in the first equation. So here we have 2 times, what is A? A is 2B minus 11 minus B, that's equal to 20. Now, if you just expand and simplify this, 2 times 2B, that is 4B minus 22. And minus B, that's equal to 20. Now from here, 3B, take 20, negative 22 to the right-hand side, we have 42. What is B is equal to 14. Now if I substitute here, then A will be equal to 2 times 14 minus 11, 28 minus 11, that's equal to 17. So dot, 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 what are those numbers? It is 17 and 14. So we are talking about these 2 numbers. Sadiq.
What are the numbers? I had very bad internet connection and I can't see the screen. It's 14 and 17 or what?
Yes, 17 and 14. So we actually thought about 17 and 14, right? In the question, it says that if you add, and it says, I think of a pair of numbers. What are those pair of numbers? Let's say those numbers are A and B. Okay. A is the first number, B is the second number. So it says that if I add 11 to the first number, that is A plus 11, I obtain a number which is twice the second number. So twice the second number is 2 times B. And if I add 20 to the second number, that means our second number is B. B plus 20, I obtain a number which is twice the first. That is 2 times A. So what are the numbers? We have to solve this system of equations, right? And after that, I just solve this from the first equation. I express A in terms of B and substitute this into the second equation. And when you get solved this, we will just get the answer. So those numbers are 17 and 14 because our first number is A, that is 17. And our second number is B, that is 14.
Thank you.
Good. Another question, guys. We have two more questions, okay? And after that, I will finish the class 4 and 5. If A gives B $3, B will have twice as much as A. If B gives A $5, A will have twice as much as B. How much does each have? Okay, so that means that's originally how much A and B have, we don't know. Let's say we are talking about two people. Okay, first, let's say A has X dollars and B has Y dollars. Okay, so in the first case, we are saying that if A gives B $3, B will have twice as much as A. First, if A gives B $3, how much A will have? A will have X minus $3, right? And how about B? B will have Y plus $3 because B is receiving $3 from A. A is giving $3 to B. So it says that B will have twice as much as A. So that means that this Y plus 3, now B has this much money, right? Twice as much as A. That is 2 times X minus 3. Okay, that's our first condition. And how about the second condition? It says that if B gives A $5, so now A has X minus X plus $5. How about B? B has Y minus $5. A will have twice as much as B. So that means that this X plus 5 will be 2 times Y minus 5. The question is, how much does each have? Each have means now, right at the beginning. So now we have two equations. The first equation is Y plus 3 is equal to 2X minus 6. And the second equation is X plus 5 is equal to 2Y minus 10. So now again, we have a simultaneous linear equations. These word problems actually just put here to show that also simultaneous equations must or should be used to solve these problems. Using these simultaneous equations, we can solve these problems much easily. So from the first equation, let's just write them in standard form. Here we have take y to the right hand side, 2x minus y, and take negative 6 to the left hand side, 3 plus 6, that is 9. From the second equation, here we have x minus 2y. On the right hand side, negative 10 minus 5, negative 15. Okay, so again, it's very similar question to the previous one. Multiply the first one by 2. Here we have 4x minus 2y, and here we have 18. And the second one, here we have x minus 2y equals negative 15. The coefficients of y are the same, so we have to subtract, right? If you subtract the second equation from the first one, 4x minus x, here we have x, negative 2y minus negative 2y, that's equal to 0. Here we have 3x, 18 minus 15, that's equal to 33. So what is x? X equals 11. If x equals 11, substitute into this equation. For example, let's say into this equation. So here we have x plus 11, x plus 11, that is 11 plus 5 equals 2y minus 10. So 11 plus 5 is 16. Take 10 to the left hand side. So y equals 16 plus 10, 26 over 2, that's equal to 13. So how much do they have at the beginning? A has $11 and B has $13. Okay, Daphne, are you still there?
Yes, teacher, I'm here. I'm trying to do all the questions as much as I can.
Good. All right, that's our last question for today. Okay. And also we are going to have class with you on Wednesday. Actually, I cancel only classes on Thursday and Friday. So if the larger of two numbers is divided by the smaller, the quotient and the remainder are 2 each. If 5 times the smaller number is divided by the larger, the quotient and the remainder are still 2 each. Find the numbers. It's also a little bit pure math question. We know that, for example, here, if you divide 13 by, for example, let's say 6, right? And here we have 2 times 6 is 12, and here we have 1, right? So this 13 is, we call this dividends, right? And this 6 is divisor because it's dividing 16. And this 2 is quotient, and this one is, what is it? Remainder. So I can just write 13 as 6 times 2 plus 1. All right. So here we are talking about two numbers. Let's just two numbers. Let's say the larger number, let me denote this by L, smaller number, let me just denote this by S. It says that if the larger of two numbers is divided by the smaller, the quotient and the remainder are 2 each. Okay, so that means that here we have L, and we are dividing this by S. It says that the quotient and the remainder. The quotient is 2 and the remainder is 2, right? So for the first one, I can write this relationship using this 13. So this L is equal to S times 2, that is 2S and plus 2, right? And the second one, that is the first one, okay? And the second one, the second condition, it says that if 5 times the smaller number is divided by the larger. So 5 times the smaller number, we are dividing by the larger number L, right? The quotient and the remainder are still 2. So here the quotient is 2 and the remainder is 2. So using the second condition, I can write this equation. Dividend is 5S and dividing by L, the quotient is 2. So here we have 2 times L and remainder is 2. Okay. So if you don't actually understand these words, we cannot form this equation. So that's why somehow also we are learning math language here. So that's it. Now we need to just write them in standard form. The first equation becomes L minus 2S. On the right hand side, we have 2. The second one is, what is it? 2L minus 5S. Take 2 to the left hand side, it is minus 2. That is the system of linear equations here. Okay, if I just multiply the first one by 2, so here we have 2L minus 4S. On the right hand side, we have 4. And here we have the second equation, 2L minus 5S is equal to negative 2. All right, now we have to solve these equations. So if you just subtract the second equation from the first one, 2L minus 2L, that's equal to 0. Minus 4 minus minus 5, that's equal to S. 4 minus minus 2, that's equal to 6. So we got S, that's equal to 6, right? So if I substitute into the second equation, first equation, then we get L. What is L? It is 2 times S. S is 6, and 2, that's equal to 14. So these two numbers are, it is 6 and 14. Okay. Musa, Leila, Defna, I finish here. Okay, that much is enough. I think I have already shared this question. Let me have a look in our WhatsApp group. If not, I will share it again. Guys, you have to practice these questions, especially the word problems. Even if you know, you have to practice to increase your speed. Can you solve them fast? Okay, when you look at the question, idea comes quickly. And also, can you do it? Sometimes, our eyes deceive ourselves. We just look at this, says, oh, definitely, this question, skip it. This question, skip it. But only we know the question.
Okay.
We cannot know this until we solve this completely. Okay. Now, Defna, also, I will give you, share one SASMO questions in the group. Also, have a look when you have time. Try to solve those questions. And next time, maybe 10, 15 minutes,
Okay.
15 minutes, we can discuss. And next time, as I told, after we finish chapter 6, and we will spend more time on revision and also solving those non-standard questions. Bye. Thank you very much. I will meet you on Wednesday. Bye bye. See you.
Thank you, so goodbye. Happy New
Goodbye.
Year.
Thank you.
Goodbye.
Happy
Bye.
New Year. Bye bye. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye, Leila. Thank you.